Welcome to Embrace AI, Transform Accounting. Here we're going to talk about the ChatGPT revolution and how AI impacts the accounting firms. I want you to know that the future of accounting is, in fact, an AI-enabled transformation. And basically, in this little video, we're going to share an overview of the transformative impact of AI on the accounting profession. I'm going to introduce ChatGPT as a game changer for accountants, and we're going to talk a little bit about how you can actually put this in action. Now, the focus of this particular video is why you should care about AI, why you can't ignore it, and why you must at least have a speaking vocabulary around it. So I want you to know that the rapid evolution of technology in accounting is exponentially speeding up, so it is absolutely essential to stay current. In the old days, you could coast. Back in the day, software updated once a year. You could get by and you could use that same software for 2-3 years before you started to run into challenges. Now we're seeing things change within weeks. So AI gives you a competitive edge, and knowing how to use it and how to integrate it will bring incredible value to your accounting practice. And wouldn't it be nice for a change if accountants were leading this and showing business owners responsibly how to use artificial intelligence to grow their business? Now, I know there's a lot of reasons why people don't want to embrace technology and why they're afraid, but the reality is the risk of falling behind is far more significant than the risk of moving too quickly and making a mistake. If you move and make mistakes, you'll survive, you can adapt and learn to thrive, whereas if you don't move, at some point your clients are going to move on. And by the way, this is not a doom and gloom. This is about why we want to embrace AI. And the reality is AI is the single greatest opportunity, in my humble opinion, that the accounting profession has in front of it today. And it's an incredible opportunity to embrace it. Now, on the flip side, there's a risk that will fall behind. I want to talk today about the opportunity. So some of the things we're going to cover in our more detailed presentation, again, this one's intentionally short, is that GPT really streamlines repetitive tasks. Whether it's data entry, data analysis, report generation, GPT can give you a really quick output. Now, for the record, I'm also aware that you need to keep your professional judgment intact. A quick output still requires that you take time to review, to edit, and to make sure it suits your needs. GPT is not a be-all and end-all. It's just a tool. The way I liken it, it's like a bionic brain. You can use it to augment the intellect and the experience you already have. You can use it to fill in some gaps where maybe you have weaknesses, but at the end of the day, it's still your tool to wield properly. So you can streamline those repetitive tasks, and this really helps enhance operational efficiency. One of the things I teach in my workshop is how to input the steps in a process that you normally follow, and GPT will actually help you optimize the steps and the order of the steps. So it's really good at summarizing, analyzing, things like that. And most importantly, and I think this is the biggest pain point for a lot of accountants, you're working too many hours, you're stressing out, you're burning out. What this does is it shifts us from doing that administrative stuff to focusing on the high-level strategic work. So these are some of the benefits. Now, one of the other advantages is that GPT allows us to personalize client communications and tailor it to the specific client. So you can write your standard letter or year-end report or data analysis report, and then you can say, please tailor it to this client in this industry with these specific concerns. It's really amazing how customized reports can impact the client a little faster and give them more. You can summarize key points. Really, truly, and I say this out of love, a lot of accountants know a lot of things and they're really technical. Spoiler alert, our clients far less technical. So what GPT does is allows us to take a technical document and translate it into English. And by the way, little trick, the average person reads at a grade 3 level, and studies have shown that if you write at a grade 7 level, which most accounting professionals write at grade 7 or higher, some actually write at university level, your clients feel that you're uppity and you're insulting them, and they don't know why, but they're offended by your communication. You can actually ask GPT to write this letter to someone using a average 5th grade reading level. So it's really good. I write things at a highly technical level. GPT helps me simplify it so that I can share it with a broader audience and so that people understand. All of this leads to enhanced client satisfaction, which increases loyalty from those personalized experiences. Now, I know you have some challenges, and I see this for the first time in history. We have 5 generations working in the business world, so we're seeing things where we're having multiple generations touching different things, sharing communication. It's really getting hard to ensure that our client communication is, and internal communication also, is consistent and clear. So one of the great things about the options within ChatGPT is that you can set up some automations to improve your client communication. You can run things through a GPT filter for internal communication, and also you can ensure that your team is following compliance mandates. So think about a lot of this stuff where, back in the day we used to have to read through pages and pages and pages of things. GPT can give us a summary, and we can decide if this is something we need to study in depth, or is it something we can just skim. So there's a lot of ways we can improve communication. It's all about the efficiency and effectiveness of communication. So GPT, think of it again as your brain bionically enhanced. We can really filter, you can run your email through a GPT prompt, and you can ask it, does this make sense? Are there any gaps, any holes, any assumptions, any jargon? It really helps you communicate with other people. So it's a great tool for that. And last but not least, I want to talk about reducing stress. So in the accounting world, we all know that we work too many hours, there's too much to do, too many deadlines, too many client questions. What we can do, and I'm a big fan of standard operating procedures, and I'm a big fan of delivering world-class service to our clients, GPT can alleviate a lot of this pressure by automating complex calculations, checking accuracy, and even providing quick access to regulatory information. So the goal is we want faster, more accurate information so that we, as the accounting professionals, have more time for the rest of our lives. And by the way, one of the things I use GPT for a lot is to identify patterns and common issues. And if we get complaints, for example, we can input them all into GPT, we can do a root cause analysis, and we can help solve that problem permanently with a system once and for all. Now, the last one, and this is probably my favorite in terms of how we can really creatively use GPT. I'm going to do some tutorials on this in the future, but for now, you should know how valuable it is. The biggest thing is when you get a bunch of inquiries from your clients, or when you filter through some of the emails or questions your clients have, usually GPT will identify trends, and it can show you, hey, we need to have a conversation about this, or we need to look at opening up this new service. So one of the single best ways to grow an accounting practice, or quite frankly any business, is to innovate and provide new services to existing clients. It's actually cheaper to do, it's faster to do, and it's more profitable than trying to find new clients all the time. So instead of spending, hours and hours and hours on social media trying to get clients, reach out to your best clients and ask them a few questions. And by the way, GPT can help you craft the questions. The question should basically be, what else can we do to add value to your world? What else can we do to solve this? And I've seen clients in the accounting space, I've seen accounting firms, they've attempted to double their whole client base. So, the good, the bad, and the ugly. What we do with the value added services is we identify the top 10, top 20% of the clients. We interview them, we ask them what they need, how we can help them, what keeps them awake at night, what services should we have, and there's specific questions. But basically, based on that, we can usually identify in any given accounting practice some specialty skill set that the accountant has that the clients would really, really value and would pay for, when usually that poor accountant is so busy doing low end or compliance work, they're not making enough money, not enough profit. They're busy serving hundreds of clients. We pick their top 20% and we find ways to grow value. And usually the results are significant. If you're doing traditional tax and accounting work, you might be struggling to get paid $150, $250 an hour. High value services, as valued by the client, I've seen up to $5,000, $10,000 an hour. Those things are worth finding, in my opinion, because I can make a lot more money, have a bigger impact, and I work less and have less stress. So that leads to making more money with AI. And the reality is,